A lot of teams say they're doing product discovery for AI. What that usually means is they're trying to understand what technology can do for them in a given area. However, good product discovery in AI looks very different to product discovery for traditional digital products, like traditional decision tools, like ML type of solutions or Tableau analytics dashboards. Not so much because the underlying principles change, they don't, but because the associated level of uncertainty and risk are very different. And there are three main areas that could be sort of characterized by a good product discovery for AI type of solutions. One is to start with very specific decisions or workflows that we would like to drive, not with AI use cases. Secondly, we test value before feasibility, which is always where we want to start in our discovery process anyway. And thirdly, treat discovery as a learning process, not as a refinement process. So first, to start with a decision or workflow, not with a use case. Strong discovery starts by identifying a real decision or workflow that matters to the organization. And what do I mean by to what extent does it matter? It should be very clearly linked to our enterprise success metrics like objectives and key results. If we can't clearly describe what should change for a user, a leader, a business area, GenAI generally won't answer that question for us. Secondly, we want to test the value before we test technical feasibility. Teams often focus early on whether or not something is technically feasible and what some of the assumptions are from a technical perspective that need to be verified. In AI, however, it's more important to test whether anyone actually cares about these solutions, especially, of course, the end users or decision makers that then would leverage your product, and whether the outcome would change real behavior on an individual and or organizational level. And third, we want to treat discovery as a learning system. Good AI discovery accepts the high level of associated uncertainty. Instead of fixed requirements, it creates structured learning. Very clear assumptions, very structured experiments, and a clear go, no-go decision, and being very specific about based on what types of criteria we make this go or no-go decision based on very specific business metrics. So what changes when this is done well? When teams approach AI discovery in this way, a few very clear things happen. First, we run fewer pilots and build more products. Second, there's less hype, but more trust from all stakeholders involved. And third, much clearer conversations with senior leadership that is not just blue sky, but very tangible in terms of impact. Good AI products don't start with models or prompts or any other type of technical considerations, but they start with very disciplined product discovery.